Hello everyone, Sam here, and I am doing a special video today because I am not going to be reviewing a book, but instead I am going to be unboxing some books that I got. Uh, this afternoon I managed to get two packages. It came in one box, but they're essentially two packages for two different months. A group of books from the Pandi Pack. The Pandi Pack was, it's still around, it's still going. This was a thing put out by, I believe it's Pandi Press, or Pandi Press, and this is a subscription that Pandi Press does, where they send you a certain amount of books each month, and you get them. Yeah, it's basically a sort of like a book club in that sort of sense. But they send you two books a month, and you can read the books that they send you. I got involved in this because I've started really getting into Edgar Rice Burroughs, and one of the stories in this box heavily features Edgar Rice Burroughs. In fact, it's partially by Edgar Rice Burroughs, as you'll see in a bit. And I learned about the Pandi Pack on the Facebook group For the Love of Edgar Rice Burroughs, which does a lot of discussions and posts about Edgar Rice Burroughs' work. And they mentioned the Burroughs related material that was going to be in one of these boxes. So I subscribed to the Pandi Pack back in February, and I've gotten the books for March and April. I'm probably not going to continue this Pandi Pack thing, not because of any ill will towards the company, but just because the books that are coming up don't have much interest for me, and this was the Edgar Rice Burroughs stuff was the main thing I wanted, so that's what I got this for. So this will be the only delivery I get from the Pandi Pack, unless they do other stuff I'm interested in, of course. But I figured since this is probably going to be the only time I do the Pandi Pack, I wanted to do a video showing an unboxing of both of these packs. I'm only holding one up. There's another one right over here to my right. But these are actually have some hefty stuff in them, so I figured I would unbox them and talk about what's in them and discuss whether these packs are worth the $49.95 monthly subscription. So let's check it out. First, a drink of water. All right. Now I did peek inside the boxes already, so this is not a full unboxing, like a true unboxing. But yeah, we'll look inside. Aha. Alright, first couple stuff. Pandi Press. The QR code for when you want to look up more stuff about them. This little package of coffee. This little coffee says Door County Coffee. This kind of coffee is titled Death's Door, blend of Sumatra, Costa Rica, and Colombia. Okay. So, alright, it's a bag of coffee from Door County Coffee. I guess maybe I'll try this tomorrow, see if it's any good. Alright, we got this little paper envelope thing. Let's take a look. It's two autographs. Presumably, I guess maybe from the authors that are in this book, in the books here in this box. But I'll hold on to that. See if there's this little sticker that says "Literacy and Justice for All." So, a little bit of stuff there. I promise there are books in here. Don't worry. Oh, they gave me because in this box there's actually a Daredevil related story. They gave me this little magnet of Daredevil. It's kind of hard to see with my camera, my lighting, but it's a sort of a fridge magnet showing an old Daredevil cover. And on it says 53, so this is the 53rd Daredevil issue. So, yeah, a lot of neat little things there. Let's look at the actual books. Okay, this first book, I wasn't sure if what I was going to get with this, because PandiPack actually told me the original book they were sending got damaged during the mass shipment, so they sent a different book in. So this book is a surprise. I was not expecting this book. I had no idea what book to suspect, because the original book they were going to send with this package of the PandiPack was damaged en route to the Pandi Press offices. So, this is Horror Library Volume 8. It's got kind of this cover of a skeleton in a suit kissing or dancing with a woman. A very properly horror image. Okay, it looks like this is a series put out by Dark Moon Books. Okay, I haven't heard of them, but it says, okay, so on the back here it says that the Horror Library is a series of anthologies showing contemporary horror short fiction. Okay, so it's a horror anthology of short stories. Okay. The story that was originally going to be in this was kind of a horror already, so this isn't too upsetting for me. The original book was some I don't remember the title, but it was something about a weight loss program that goes haywire and it starts making the folks who take it maybe start doing cannibalism. So it was already kind of a dark subject matter, so I was kind of expecting doing this as a replacement kind of makes sense, because that was kind of already a grisly topic, so why not replace it with horror? So I'll check this out, see if I like the Horror Library. But this second book, I already know what this is. This was the one I was really interested in. I have to get the stuffing off this book. This one is Enemy of My Enemy by Alex Segura. And on the bottom here, you can see it says a Daredevil Marvel crime novel. And there was one book before this one. Because what the Marvel crime novel is a new series that Marvel's putting out, which is supposed to be individual stories starring different superheroes that talk about these different superheroes going on different adventures. And they're kind of meant to be separate from the well-known Marvel universes, like the comic book universe or the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're inspired by them in certain ways, but these stories in this series are sort of meant to be their own separate thing, to give the authors a little bit of freedom so that they can tell the stories they want to. The first book in the series was one involving Jessica Jones called Breaking the Dark. I actually just read that one. There'll be a review on it up this week. But this Daredevil one, Enemy of My Enemy, is the second in the series. And later this year, there's going to be one with Luke Cage, I believe. So, the premise of this one of Daredevil, is that Matt Murdock is Daredevil's secret identity, and he's given a new case that greatly interests him. And the case is that the infamous vigilante, the Punisher, who has often hung out in Hell's Kitchen, New York City, which is where Daredevil hangs out, the Punisher is being tried for a murder. And this murder is of Daredevil's arch nemesis, the Kingpin. The Kingpin was Wilson Fisk, and the guy who ran the biggest criminal organization in New York. So, the Kingpin is supposedly dead, and the Punisher is the one who killed him, supposedly. I say supposedly because even Matt is not entirely sure whether that's really the case, because, you know, this is comic book stuff. People can pretend to be dead all the time, so Daredevil's trying to figure out, well, is the Kingpin really dead? And if he is, did the Punisher actually kill him? And it's kind of this interesting situation because Matt Murdock is trying to defend the Punisher, and the best defense for that is proving the Punisher didn't kill Kingpin. But the catch there is that if he didn't kill the Kingpin and the Kingpin's still alive, that's a bit of a problem for Daredevil because, you know, Daredevil does not like the Kingpin, and the Kingpin is a bad guy. So it's an interesting setup. I was really interested in the setup, trying to see, because Matt Murdock, the defense attorney, wants to save the Punisher, but as the vigilante Daredevil, he's not really a fan of him because obviously the Punisher is much more lethal than Daredevil tends to be. So, and also, he needs to find out if the Kingpin really is dead. So, that really interested me. So I was going to check this out, and this is the main reason I hopped on the PandiPacks so quickly, a month earlier than I planned to, because this just seemed like an interesting concept. So that'll be very interesting to read. Oh, I was looking through the box, see if there's anything else. We got good old-fashioned beef jerky. Beef jerky. What was that Eddie Murphy movie, Trading Places, where he's on the train, he goes, "It's beef jerky time." Yeah, so we got beef jerky. Okay. Alright. Yeah, so I guess I'll have this for a snack sometime soon too. But let's see. Nope, nothing else in the box. Just to show you guys what it looks like. All this black stuff is like the stuffing. So that's what I'm rooting through when I get the stuff out of this. So that's the first box done. So now we're going to move on to the second box. And this was the one that I was really, really eager for, because this is the Edgar Rice Burroughs box. So, learn more. Another QR code to look up Pandi Press. Another Door County coffee thing. It's Death's Door again. Blend of Sumatra, Costa Rica, and Colombia. So I really hope I like this because I have 2 of it. If I don't like it, it's going to be annoying to have to drink 2 of it. So I'm going to go through the goodies before I get to the books. Yeah, we got Love and Chew, the superfood cookie. And it's banana bread. So, got this little dessert. I like banana bread, so that's very cool. Alright, got another little envelope. So this is a bookmark by the Edgar Rice Burroughs Incorporated, and it says Tarzan and Jane. It's got this little picture. Obviously, it's hard to see on my camera, but it's got this picture of Tarzan and Jane. Just on the back, it says Tarzan and Jane. It's a little bookmark there. We also got a bookmark for Tarzan, The Lost Adventure. Little image on that. A couple little things here. Oh yeah. We got a little postcard. Well, not postcard, a little image thing for Tarzan of the Apes. This is, again, can't see it very well on my camera, but this is the cover image for the new edition of Tarzan of the Apes, done by Joe Jusko, I believe. And this is part of the thing that, part of a new thing that ERB Inc. was doing, where they were reissuing all of Edgar Rice Burroughs' works into new paperback and hardback editions with new illustrations on the cover. They'd finished Tarzan's, and last I heard they were working on the Barsoom series with John Carter. So that's very cool. I have this signature. I can't. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I can get the camera to. Well, it's not catching it, but there's somebody's signature here. I don't know who it is. It says Zizzo. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know who that is. So. Anything else in this little paper bag? No, there's nothing. So, all right, couple of interesting things there. Let's see. All right, there doesn't look to be anything else other than the books, which is what we wanted. So, this was the book that I really wanted for this PandiPack 4. This was the main reason I got it. And this is Tarzan, The Lost Adventure. What this is that there was a... I read this a while ago. There were a couple of Tarzan stories, some of them longer, some of them shorter, that Edgar Rice Burroughs had written at one point or another, but for one reason or another didn't finish them. Mostly because of his passing, because I believe he died in 1950, if I'm remembering correctly. Actually, this has a biography, so it should probably tell me. Yeah. He died in 1950, according to the author bio. So, this was one of the last stories. In fact, I think it may have been the last Tarzan story that Burroughs was working on. And if you look on the cover, again, you can't see on my cover, but there's another author named Joe R. Lansdale. That is, okay, Lansdale. And from my understanding, Burroughs wrote a good number of this story, but there were some either there was missing parts, or like maybe there were some uh, parts where Burroughs had like scouted it out. He'd done like an outline, but he hadn't actually written it through. And my understanding is that Lansdale finished the story. So I was really interested in this version because this is kind of an interesting edition. You're probably looking at this going, boy, that's kind of a small book. It's kind of got this interesting black surrounding. And that's because this is meant to imitate the Ballantine Books edition that were originally put into paperbacks. I think it was in the 70s. Might have also been the 60s. But they were done in editions like this. In fact, I have a example here. This is the first Tarzan of the Apes done with this very similar style. And this was the famous Ballantine editions. In fact, well, I have it here. When was this published? Okay, it says the first printing is July 1963, but it mentions that this one was the 14th printing in December of 77. So, first time in the 60s, but they were obviously going on well into the 70s, since this one was printed in the 70s. So these were really famous editions. I've looked at some I've looked at other Edgar Rice Burroughs fans posting, and a lot of them have editions of this book because this was the one that was coming out in the 60s and 70s, and they did a lot of the Tarzan stories. In fact, they did all of them at the time. And I say at the time because when Tarzan the Lost Adventure was originally published, it was actually published by Dark Horse Comics. A lot of you will probably know about them. Sadly, I believe they've recently went under because their parent company shut them down or something. Or they were going under like some huge major shakeup that was essentially getting rid of all the people who had really started Dark Horse. So I don't know if it's fully shut down or if it's like one of those huge corporate restructures where the restructure is so thorough that anybody who was involved has left, and thus it's essentially a different company at that point. But I thought I heard they were shutting it down, so. But getting back on track, Dark Horse actually published The Lost Adventure first. I can't remember exactly when. It was sometime in the 90s. Well, let me look through here, see if I can find when this was originally published. For some reason, I want to say 1994, but I'm not sure that was... Oh, here it says 1995. So, okay. Yeah, 1995, this was originally published by Dark Horse, and it was done in a different format. But this one is explicitly trying to replicate the Ballantine paperbacks. And I actually have a lot of the Tarzan Ballantine paperbacks, so I was really curious about getting this one just so it, fits into the collection that I have. And it looks real neat. They got some real nice artwork here. I think this might be the original artwork that was on the very first one. Yeah, it says the cover art was by Dean Williams and done 1995, so yeah, I suppose it is. Now, I actually don't know a lot about what happens in the story because I've recently gotten to Tarzan, and I'm still, as you saw in my first book, I had a bookmark in it. I'm still making my way through Tarzan of the Apes. And I know a little bit about the next few books going forward, but I have not. This is the number 26. I am not nowhere near the 20s, so It's going to be a while before I dig into this, but I'm really curious too because this is a really cool addition, and I really hope that I enjoy this one. So this one will be definitely on my big to read list in the coming months. Now the second book was kind of a weird one because it kind of advertised this as sort of being Burroughs related, and it's called The Apes of Wrath. And what it is it's a bunch of short stories regarding, well, apes. And Edgar Rice Burroughs is credited on the cover here, but it includes a lot of other authors, like Hugh B. Cave, Philip Jose Farmer, Robert E. Howard, Franz Kafka, Joe R. Lansdale, who also did Tarzan the Lost Adventure, Jess Nevins, Edgar Allan Poe, Clark Ashton Smith. Like a very disparate group of authors, some of whom are well known for pulp, like Hugh B. Cave and Robert E. Howard, some more classical authors like Franz Kafka or Edgar Allan Poe. So I was kind of wondering, well, wait, is this Edgar Rice Burroughs related? Because on the Pandi Press website, they kind of made it sound like, oh, these are all authors who are, like, who were inspired by Edgar Rice Burroughs' Ape Tales. Like, they said it in a way that sort of made it sound like it was Edgar Rice Burroughs inspired these ape tales. But it's more accurate to say that these are just ape stories. They're all stories involving apes in different capacities. Because obviously you have writers like Edgar Allan Poe and Aesop who had no way of being influenced by Edgar Rice Burroughs, considering they lived several decades before, even hundreds of years before Burroughs did. So, but I'm kind of interested because I've actually been kind of interested in doing ape stories sometime in the future. So I'm actually fine with this not necessarily being hugely Burroughs related, being focused more on apes, because this apes are really interesting as a character, well, not character, as a story subject. Though you do need apes to have character, and real life apes can be real characters. We've had a lot of famous apes. So, yeah, this one I'll be interested in. I looked at the contents a couple days ago from previews that I'd found of this, and there are some in here that are like obvious, like the Edgar Allan Poe story is the murders in the Rue Morgue. If you know that story, you can guess where the ape comes into play. So there's and the Edgar Rice Burroughs story in this one is Tarzan's first love. So I think that was from one of the Tarzan stories. I think it was collected as Jungle Tales of Tarzan or something. It originally appeared. It originally appeared in a pulp magazine, but some of the Tarzan stories that were shorter were collected into a book collection. And I think one of those was, I believe, Tarzan's first love was in one of those. For some reason, I want to say the Jungle Tales of Tarzan, but I can't quite remember. So, yeah, so it has a very wide selection of stories. Oh, Red Shadows, the Robert E. Howard story in this one is Red Shadows, which is the Solomon Kane one. It was the first Solomon Kane story. So that's going to be very cool to read. I've read that several times, but it's a very good story, so I won't mind reading it again. Yeah, so all in all, very interesting things from the Pandi Pack. Like I said, I'm probably not going to subscribe to them any longer because this was the stuff that I really wanted. And the stuff coming up, I looked at the upcoming slate. A lot of it just doesn't really interest me. Apparently there's going to be one that's kind of a reimagining of Psycho, where instead of Norman Bates killing, what's her name, Marion Crane in the original Psycho story and famously in the movie, apparently it's supposed to be a reversal where Marion actually manages to overpower Norman and get away. And the whole idea is that it's kind of a weird reversal of the story where instead of course, famously in the first Psycho movie, spoilers if you haven't seen Psycho, but it's over 50 years old now. It's very iconic. I think most of you will know what happens in it. If you haven't, go watch it. It's a good story. But apparently it's supposed to be a reversal of the shower scene where the person who ends up getting killed in that scene actually does not die. And it's actually reversed. The attacker in that scene is the one who gets killed. And the story is basically looking at what happens when that character who originally died in the movie survives, but is now the killer. But because they've killed the attacker, they're now stuck in a precarious position, and sort of how they go through that scenario. And that's kind of interesting, but I'm just not... We've had so many reimaginings of stories over the last couple of years that I'm kind of bored of those kind of reimaginings, because we've had, like, Wicked, Cruella, Maleficent. We've had all these movies and shows about how reimagining certain characters, particularly villains, and things like that. And Psycho already kind of had that already with that TV show about Norman Bates. What was it called? Bates Motel or something like that. That was focusing all about Norman Bates' early years and whatnot. And it's kind of like, well, yeah, it just doesn't seem that interesting to me. This idea has already kind of been done. I may check that book out on, like, if it comes to my local library. It probably will. It seemed like it was coming from a fairly well-sized publisher. But yeah, I'm not sure I'm gonna pay $49.95 for that book and whatever else was going on. I can't remember the other book that it was because it didn't seem that interesting. So this will probably be my sole dalliance with the Pandi Pack. But I will say, for what they've given me with this collection, with the books plus the other little goodies that came with it, yeah, I can see why folks would want to keep using the Pandi Pack. Like, there are some interesting things here. So thank you to the Edgar Rice Burroughs Incorporated for giving us this special edition of Tarzan the Lost Adventure. And hopefully I'll enjoy all of these books and all these little goodies. So if this kind of stuff looks interesting to you, maybe you should go to PandiPress.com. They'll have a listing of all their stuff that you can purchase, because they don't just do the PandiPacks, they also sell some ebooks too. But you should check them out, see if you like them. And yeah, this stuff looks real interesting, and I'll be sure to tell you guys how much I enjoy these books in the coming weeks. All right. Well, thank you very much, and I will see you guys later. Bye.